I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. Good morning. Hope you all enjoyed your holiday yesterday. I did some college football deep dives. Finished my third conference. I'm cruising right along. I know John was outside doing some grilling or
some magic tricks. I was practicing. I doing the dry run, bro. I was thinking about you. Yesterday, kid.
Dry run.
I had no choice. I had live, guests. There were live people. There were some kids in the crowd,
and I was
kind of getting liquored up. You got to make sure that I don't know what time the show is. Remember, if the show's after 6:30, Big Daddy's going to be lubed up, man. I got to make sure I can fucking pull off my swerve. It was up and down. Let's say
it's one thing to try to perform a magic act. It's another thing to try to do it lubed up, as you say.
Fully lubed, man. Fully lubed.
I didn't place a single bet yesterday.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I took the night off before to do college football stuff, and then, dude, I feel like learning about how to beat these markets has ruined a certain aspect of betting. If the games are starting in an hour, it's like I can't bet. I can't bet anymore because I know there's no value. It's like I know better. It's like I want to play some bets, but I know that these aren't going to be positive. Like,
it's a kick in the ass.
Right.
What would you would consider kind of? I don't bet college a lot, but you would consider those late lines super sharp?
No. When I was talking about college football, I'm referring to just getting ready for the season, doing off-season notes and getting depth charts ready.
Where's that stuff available? You put it out for us?
It will be available.
We make sure I know.
I have a video coming out in mid-August. It's going to be about 16 hours long, all 136 teams. Every single roster depth chart spot is, you'll see. It's like the craziest video I've ever made by far.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna chop away at it. That's obviously super.
Well, it'll be timestamps. The idea is people will come back and when they want a team, they're not going to sit there and watch the whole thing. It's kind of just going to be like an almanac of sorts.
Yeah, I'd like a little stepping stone. I used to watch. I was obsessed with Notre Dame football when I was little, and every time I had a kid, I joke I've lost a sports team. I haven't watched in a while. Obviously, I know the game, but it's hard to get back into it not knowing shit. Now that sounds like a good way to start.
Yeah, it's going to be a cool video. We got 15 games to get through. Toast is on a little bit of a heater. Perfect timing too.
Let's go.
Oh, I won't say it because
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Toast is killing it, and the perfect timing because we're about the time of year where I need to take a little bit of a step back and prepare for the fall. And when Toast was ice cold 2 weeks ago, I'm like, dude, I can't even afford to step away right now. Like, I need to keep winning. So perfect timing for Toast to come out of the shadows. All right, first game up. I've been trying to tell you this Rays team is ass. They lose again. Tried to tell you.
You didn't even see how they lost yesterday, probably.
Walk-off home run on the first pitch. Come on now. So I actually pulled up a line graph. And this is what I want.
This is what it was for. Oh, my God.
All right. So this is a stupid line graph. It took 10 seconds on Google Image. So when I'm not saying the Rays are bad. I'm saying in sports betting, this is the course of a season, this line graph, right? Over 6 months. And so like each little centimeter on this is a week. And what you have is over a 2-week span, when something's at the top, people are convinced that that's how good that team is. And what I'm saying, because I want to clarify, I'm not hating on the Rays. I wasn't hating on the Tigers a few weeks back. I'm just saying, guys, they're at a peak here. Like, if they're projected to be a 90-win team, even if they win 10 out of 11, they're probably still going to be a 90-win team. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, like, oh, the Rays are trash. I'm just saying, guys, they're just in a peak here. Every single team season is going to look like this graph. So don't get caught up on an uptick in the line graph when it's going to even out in for the most part back to about where they were projected to be. That's all I'm saying. That being said, Twins up, Rays are trash.
I would agree with the Twins up. Not that I'm in love with Travis Adams or anything of that nature, but just the line just absolutely stinks. You were the Rays minus 120. You can get a minus 110 right now. I mean, clearly the Rays are playing better baseball than the Twins are right now. I don't think that anybody would argue with me about that, but this line completely stinks. I don't want to bet this game. I bet the Rays one more time yesterday. I agree with Kyle that there's the peaks and the valleys and all that stuff, but to get the Rays yesterday at plus 100, I couldn't pass that up. We lost on a walk-off. I'm not going to dip my toes back in this water, but for whatever reason, people don't think that Taj Bradley's going to pitch well today. So I don't feel like the line pretty much tells me everything that I need to know.
Guys, this isn't specific to the Rays or the Tigers. It's all sport. Yeah. Guarantee you, week 3 of the NFL, there's going to be a team that's 2-0 that isn't good. And all the comments are going to try to convince me that they are good. It's like, guys, they won 2 football games. Let's relax. John, what are your thoughts on the Rays?
You baited me with the trading chart. I think overall, there really is something to be said there. The action in sports betting, like this is the nerdy way to put the bow in it, is rectangular and not based on like breakouts in perpetuity, right? Meaning when you're 100% right, when you're smacking up against the top, more likely than not, it comes back to a bottom. And the same works in reverse, right? When a team is smacking the bottom is when you want to look for that rise back up. Most action is rectangular, meaning it happens in a box and not like it's always running one direction. That's 100% true. I also think the Rays might be a little bit better than maybe a lot of us thought coming into the year. Right, there are question marks with some of these guys. Like we never really saw Ronda do it. He looks like he's legit. The low and loud combination look pretty fucking legit. Junior Caminero looks pretty legit. Again, I'm not trying to put the cart before the horse, and I do agree with everything you said. But man, this Twins team kind of sucks. I'm gonna have to take the other side from you guys, just because of. I mean, this is my spot to attack kind of debut guys. This guy Adams is okay, but he hasn't been good. I think he's going to get feasted on, and what kind of help is he going to get from the Twins offense? Like, I mean, I had to go back and double check this stuff because as somebody who models, I've modeled tens of thousands of fucking baseball games. Sometimes I mishandle data. Twins last 7 days, and I know it's only 160 PAs, but still, I challenge anybody out there to find me a worse sample set. This might be the worst sample I've ever seen in my life. Not only are they batting 162, 31K to only 3 walk. That's a 16 WRC plus. 1-6. A 16. Like, you are going to be hard-pressed to find that. And then you could zoom out, too. Last 2 weeks, Rays have been significantly better. 800 team OPS opposed to the Twins, sub 600. I mean, it's really bad for the Twins right now. So I think with a pitching edge, I'm not the biggest Taj Mahal guy, but I also think we should keep in mind the home road splits because pitching in that fucking pinball park is not doing anybody any favors. And I think as a fantasy geek, any determinations we're making on these AAA parks, we just want to be careful. Again, not really pushing for Taj Mahal as a beast here, but a minus 112 against the debut with a significant offensive edge, I got to go with the Rays, man.
John, by the way, they've been taking significant Twins money. This game's a pick now.
Yeah,
all day.
That's why. That's the question I wanted to ask John. So, if you were looking at this game, did you actually bet the Rays?
Yes, at a worse price. I mean, it wasn't significantly worse. I was buying the slide like a minus 119. Because my question was, does now that give you pause? Because that's no. And man, we've talked about this. This is a really great offseason or maybe even football discussion. I try not to let MLB CLV really mess with me. Again, I always try and preface it because I don't want to be the guy that's like, I don't care about CLV, and then I get clipped during football season when like NFL CLV is razor sharp. Afternoon games for kind of shitty teams in baseball, I'm not sure I really care. Again, the debut, dude, if it was almost anybody else for the Twins, a Festa, I'd be going Twins. Any of these guys. Who the fuck is pitching for Minnesota?
Cole Sands.
And all right, maybe he goes 1 or 2, then you get Adams, maybe 3, maybe another 3. I don't even know about the back end of the Twins bullpen. I've been kind of falling out of love with them after what was they got off to a ridiculous start right now. Last 40 innings for the Twins, they're giving up a 3.33 batting average, striking out just 17% of guys. That's a 5 ERA, Twins bullpen hasn't been great. I just think that the Rays are like so clearly the better team entering this game. But I could be getting blown up by CLV.
I don't know if the Rays will be better than the Twins at the end of the season.
Ooh, that's a good one. It depends on the Twins pitching, Kyle. I love the Twins pitching, but they're all dead, right? Is Pablo Lopez healthy?
I mean, I feel like the Rays we saw their best baseball, and we haven't seen the Twins' best baseball yet. All right, let's move on to The Cardinals Cubs in Wrigley. Liberatore against Jordan Wicks. John, what are your thoughts here?
I think I am like just going against the fucking market all day here today. Matty Liberatore, like legitimate MLB pitcher. I think I like the Cards today. Offenses, you got to give the nod to the Cubbies, but I don't know where the pitching is coming from. They also might have had, we mentioned this last time, the load busting element after yesterday's output where they just kind of killed. So maybe we get a little bit of regression back. I know the weather is a bit of an issue, but that also goes both ways. So Liberatore, who's kind of a ground ball guy, a lot of command and control, good at keeping it in the yard generally. I had Jordan Wicks. Is that what you got?
Yeah, Jordan Wicks is the primary. They're using
a primary.
Yeah, they're using an opener. I think it's going to be Pomerantz, but Pomerantz is a bullpen arm. Wicks is the primary.
Yeah. So again, I just think this is another spot where we have such a clear pitching edge in this one, and with a 133 on the board, give me the odds. Give me the plus money in the Cardinals today.
Toast.
I can't really pick a side. It would be over or pass for me.
Okay.
Kind of kicking myself yesterday for not playing the over. Obviously, the Cubs did the heavy lifting, but over 11, if you can get a 10.5 minus 120, I don't hate that. But I think that both of these offenses can hit the ball well today. I mean, obviously, the weather is going to be decent in Chicago today. You got the wind blowing out, and I mean, it's nothing crazy wind, but you have wind blowing out. I mean, plus 30% on ballpark power. It's going to be 90 degrees, like 14 mile an hour winds blowing out. We saw these two teams absolutely smoke the ball yesterday. This Cardinals offense has been fine. I mean, they've been a middle of the pack, top 10 offense, depending on what splits you're looking at as far as versus left-handed pitching. I just don't know what to expect from Wicks. That's another thing. And honestly, this Cubs team versus left-handed pitching hasn't been very special either. And Liberatore has, I mean, especially over his last 4 or 5 starts, he's went 5, 6, 7, 6 innings and not giving up a whole bunch of runs, including a start to this Cubs team earlier. So it's enough for me to pass in general, but it would only be over a pass if I had to make a bet in the game.
Yeah, I kind of agree with John at this price. It would probably be Cardinals or pass. I only have 2 bets, guys. So maybe I'll find some more as we go through the show. Angels, Blue Jays in Toronto. John? Muted.
Yeah, I think you gotta. I was slurping. Sorry. I think you gotta go over or nothing. Max, I just don't really have the confidence right now. Constantly coming back from injury, he hasn't really gotten his groove. Granted, I mean the command has been good, but he's not inducing any whiffs or chases. Plus, we know with Max, the ball is constantly in the air. And man, I love backing the Angels offense, man. There's so much fun, especially for overs, because all the power stuff is great. You know, they're really like a sellout team. That's kind of the label I usually give when you get a lot of swing and miss, but you get a lot of power, right? Elevated batted ball events, a lot of home runs, and a lot of barrels. But the Angels do it the way that I really, really love it, which is without chasing. So, like, you can give me a power hitter that's going to swing and miss a lot. That's fine. Granted, he's hitting fucking home runs. If he's chasing out of the zone, that's where the floor really gets built in. Right now, the Angels, hold on, let me just check it. They might be leading the league in chase rate, right? Meaning the lowest chase rate against righties last 2 weeks, and it's by like 3 or 4 points. If this young Angels team is cleaning up their discipline with the batted ball quality that we get, I think we have to look at them to score all the time. And then we know the Blue Jays are fucking awesome, and Kahanowitz has been a fucking disaster. He added all these whiffs to the profile, but now he's walking the yard constantly, and the Blue Jays just kill right-handed pitching right now. They're really, really good. So I like the Barger total basis to probably go with that over.
Toast.
Angels team total over 3.5 minus 140.
No way! Oh, no, yeah, let's go. Yeah, you got
Johnny
me.
John.
Yeah, you got me. I need help, man. I need help. You got me in the blind spot.
It's those
in the blind spot, yeah.
That's what happens when you're not patriotic like me and you sit at home and just look at the next day's MLB during
Real
the 4th of
Americans do
July.
magic, bro. Real Americans do magic.
But it's me. Not only do we know that this Angels team on the road has been awesome over the last 30 days, over the last 14 days, they've been one of the best, if not the top 5 offense in Major League Baseball versus right-handed pitching. Not that Scherzer has any crazy bad splits. I mean, he does have bad splits versus lefties. Not really any lefties in that to worthwhile in that Angels lineup. But my issue with Max is I don't think what do we really expect him to go 4, maybe 5 innings max? I mean, I don't really expect him to go 6 or 7 innings here. And if that's the case, not that this Toronto bullpen is just absolutely taxed among Bolivian, but they've worked so much over the last week that I just don't think they're in a really good spot. Yariel Rodriguez is 2 of the last 3 days. Brandon Little's 2 of the last 3 days, and Chad Green is back-to-back days. That's 3 guys that I think 3 of their better arms. I know that this Blue Jays team has been playing really well, but I also think you're asking a lot for these bullpen arms to pitch 4 or 5 times over the last week. And I think this Angels team offensively, especially on the road, has shown us that the ability to score. So if I'm getting full 9 at-bats just to score 4 runs on a compromised bullpen and a starter that I don't think is going to go very long, yeah, I got a full unit on the Angels.
Someone said no Vlad in this game.
Is that really very rare?
I mean, someone said it in the comments. Let me look up on Twitter to see if that's true.
I don't think the lineup is out yet. It's possible they announced it, but I just refreshed. I didn't see the lock. Toast, hat tip to you, man. That's how you do it, because the Blue Jays bullpen, sometimes you even have to look a bit out.
I'm not seeing
There's a ton of 4 out of 6s and 5 out of 7s. Yep. A ton, like more than you, like 4, 5, 6 guys, and it just listen. They're going after these high leverage games, and you should be. It's a tightly contested race. You're trying to catch the Yankees. I get it, but I feel like eventually the chickens come home to roost with the bullpen, even if it's for a day or two of just guys being fucking gassed.
Yeah. Reds, Phillies, Ranger Suarez against Lodolo. Toast.
I bet the Reds on the money line. I just thought that this price was absolutely ridiculous. Plus 154. I was on the Reds' first 5 yesterday. Obviously, that offense exploded. So we can get into it. First of all, I guess we can talk about Lodolo. Lodolo, a guy we've given him a little bit of shit for, especially because he's one of Trevor's favorite pitchers. But the issues has been usually at home. His road starts has been fine. I know that he got messed up by Cleveland, but besides that, I mean, he's been pretty damn good on the road. Full season on the road, 2.31 ERA, 0.94 WHIP, 360 xFIP. I mean, he's been pretty damn good on the road. And you have this Phillies team that really, I mean, in years past against lefties, they've been fine. But I mean, right over the last month and a half or so, this Phillies team can't hit left-handed pitching to save their life. They got David Peterson somehow, some way. They blew him up for 5 runs in 4 innings. They got Bailey Palter for 4 runs in 3 2/3. But Colton Gordon, Framber Valdez, Matthew Boyd, Andrew Heaney, Eric Lauer, Jose Quintana, DJ Hall, Chris Sale, all pitched well against this team. And if that's the case, if I can get Lodolo in there and if I can get us in this game between the 6th and the 7th inning, I really think this game is at least a coin flip with considering how both of these bullpens are. I will give you that I'm not really like in love with this Cincinnati bullpen, but they are starting to pitch a little bit better. I get that Pagan and Satilian have gone 2 of the last 3 days, but they've had a lot of rest in between there. And I just don't feel like this Philadelphia bullpen should be warranting this type of price. Ranger Suarez has been awesome, but I mean, Kerkering and Strom didn't work yesterday, but everybody else in the Phillies bullpen worked yesterday as well. So I just thought that this price was more than anything was insane. So to get the Reds at, like I said, plus 154, I bet it for a half a unit.
John?
Hard to disagree with anything there. I think I put full game under with you. Now that I see it's a 4.5 on the F5, I think I would go F5 under. So again, I'm pretty much in line with Toast here. I'm surprised we didn't get to the Reds bullpen. I think that's what worried me a little bit.
Yeah, I said that.
If it gets close later on, right? Oh yeah. Pagan, Santillan, and the Rogers thing, because I think he's an important piece against a few really strong lefties for Philly. That said, I've always been a huge Suarez guy. Hard to disagree with anything that you said about the Phillies. The Phillies' offense has been really bad, in particular versus lefties, like you mentioned. They have a 3.05 slug against lefties the last 30 days. That's almost like hard to believe when you think about the scale of the Phillies offense, right? You're thinking about a power hitting team, and that's not really the case. Reds offense, we've beaten this to death all year. You get these very brief highs, and we're getting longer and more like sustained lows, and that's where we're at right now. Reds just blow. Phillies have been bad last 7. Reds have been bad last 7. Reds have also been particularly bad versus lefties last 30. Very hard to even squint and find anything. I guess they're not striking out. They haven't really chased, but Suarez doesn't really care. That's not really his game. So I was very surprised to see guys of this ilk, 2 guys of this ilk, to post a 4.5. This year, the books feel like they've been really willing to put out a lot of those F5U4s that put me on the fence. So not that I think you're wrong, Toast, because 2-1 Reds through 5 is in the cards easily. I just think maybe a Phillies 1-0, 2-1 is also. So I'm leaning more towards the F5 on the 4.5. Especially it's only like minus 108.
And just to say something back to the Reds versus lefties, obviously the numbers aren't fantastic, but they look decent versus Luzardo yesterday. They got to Crochet the start before that, and then the 2 starts before that, they faced Fried and Rendon. So again, they are facing they're facing the upper echelons of lefties in the league. That's why it didn't give me too much pause.
Fair enough. No, fair.
I think the Reds bullpen will be fine. By the way, I think they'll all be available.
I know. I just needed to mention it because that's one thing that we talk about a lot. So I didn't want people to think that I wasn't aware.
It'd be under or past here. I agree with John. I don't think the Reds touch Ranger Suarez, but not really in a position to trust the Phillies.
Kyle, can I ask you if you move your F5s to your unders to the F5? Or, and again, I love being pushed back on it. It's why I love this show so much. We're not going to agree, and we get 2 great sides of it. And maybe it's me that I've allowed this bullpen stuff and the ghost runner to almost make like full game unders. I'm like, no, I don't do that.
Yeah, I think you've made the ghost runner the boogeyman, John.
Yeah,
okay, it's just fair.
The ghost runner's necessary, dude. I mean, you cannot have those 18-inning midweek games. They're killing the league.
But it can crush an under.
Well, okay, but how many unders have you lost? Because of the ghost runner, each team has scored a run. Man, like I don't have the numbers, but I don't feel like that happens all the time.
It doesn't happen very often, though.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. Again, I guess you're right.
And not to mention, it would be cooked into the price. The probability for overtime, it's already cooked in. So you could look at it as because of this ghost runner, we're getting an extra half run. But the only reason I would go with an F5 total is if there's something significant about the bullpen.
Copy that. Yeah.
I usually am not like this goes across in all sports. If I feel I have an edge somewhere, I want the largest sample size possible to make sure that edge is maximized. If I think the Raptors are going to dominate the boards, I don't want the first half. I want as many possessions as possible to make sure they hit that 57% rebound rate that I'm looking for because I'll cover my +7. So that's, I mean, there are extenuating circumstances in MLB. Obviously, you have the starting pitcher that could isolate to the first 5. In football, you have the scripted plays in the beginning. Some coaches are really good at scheming up those scripted plays.
Yeah.
You can play on an edge there. But for the most part, I want the largest sample size possible to maximize what I think is likely to happen.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think to make your point, in this case, you have guys that can go into the 6th or the 7th. Like Suarez, right? His out profit is always at least 17.5. It's never 14.
Right.
Yeah. Sure.
Bastin. Toast and Spoon got to celebrate 4th early. Before I even knew there was a game on, I sat down on my computer and Toast and Spoon both had Boston. The shit was like 9-2.
It was 9-2, and then right after that, I had the Reds at like +135 or something in the first 5, and they scored like 4 runs in the first inning. So I was like, yeah, happy 4th of July.
Speak of Spoon. Spoon's in the comments. Good morning, Spoon.
Morning, sir.
Red Sox, Nats, Mitchell Parker against Walker Buehler. At a pick, John. At a pick.
Yeah, this is the over or nothing of the day.
100%.
I'm a little upset because I think I saw in a line history that there might have been a single digit floating out there earlier on. You might have been able to find a 9.5.
9.5 -125 ESPN.
Well, yeah, you know what? If you can get it for less than -130, I think that's a neat auto smash. Buehler looks broken. This might be the last chance, right? This might be the last time that we get to see him just get completely eviscerated. Boston's been talking about the replacements. Mitchell Parker, who I like coming into the season, he can generate whiffs and stuff. it's been really brutal, man. It's been brutal. I think he might need to go back down because he's walking tons of batters and missing up in the zone and getting like yoked. And this Boston offense, though, I wish I could say I was good at having a beat on them. I guess with young teams, they're going to be kind of hard to figure out from time to time. They've looked really good as of late, so I'm really not trying to mash that, right? Stoppable force and movable object stuff. So yeah, for me, over 9.5 for like easily for sure.
Yeah, so over for me. Just to John's point with the young kids, yeah, that was part of the reason, and I said that going into the game yesterday, is that I think that this offense is going to continue to get better, not exponentially, but just a little bit week by week with these young guys and the more at-bats that they get in the major leagues. I mean, keep in mind that, not that like Devers getting traded prevents one of these young guys from hitting well, but it's probably a shock to their system that, the star gets traded and then they have to fly out to the West Coast and play a couple series on the West Coast, because now that you've seen they had that bad game in Toronto, their first game back, but since that first game back, 15-3, 13-5, 4 and 11 runs for this Boston team. So they've been scoring runs, and Mitchell Parker's not a guy that I'm trying to back very often. As John said, he just really hasn't been doing well. And the Red Sox have seen a decent amount of decent lefty starters over the last couple of weeks, so it's not like they're doing anything, on top of the fact that Boston's doing a lot of work on bullpens as well, and we know that Washington has a really bad bullpen. As far as Walker Buehler goes, if you're watching this show this morning, I don't think you need me to tell you how bad he has been. We're not going to go through it. All I can tell you is that what lights my eyes up is that it's a 0.40 WARBA against lefties and a 4.89 xFIP with almost a 2 whip versus lefties. And as we all know, if you're watching this show, there's a whole bunch of lefties in that national lineup tomorrow or today. So over 9.5, not to mention the fact it's going to be 91 degrees with the wind slightly blowing out. So over.
Man, I don't know. I like John. I like Mitchell Parker coming into the season.
Yeah.
Everyone talked to Mackenzie Gore. I was like, be careful. They got another good lefty there.
My guy was DJ Hurst. That was my guy. 2 Suburbans and a Hearst. I'll have to get a ticket, bro.
DJ Hurst.
2 Suburbans and a Hearst. Yeah, and I'll have to get a ticket with Funkmaster Flex in the fucking chair.
Brewers Marlins in Miami. Was that
if you know, you know. Well, I had to drop a fucking bomb for Funk Flex, man. If you know, you know. I just dated myself, but man, we were pretty badass.
No, I think the younger generation knows who Funk Flex is. The freestyle,
the 2 Suburbans and a Hearst. Hard to get a ticket.
The freestyle videos he does, they go pretty viral on YouTube.
Yeah, those DJ Club Professional shit. That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. Those were the days, man.
I love
hip hop
you, John.
fucking sucks now. I think they're all. I don't know. They're wearing tight fucking jeans and shit, looking like
leave the tight jeans crowd alone, John.
No way, man.
Jeans.
Yo, my Dogs would fucking kill the Dogs in fucking this era. Kill these motherfuckers wearing flip-flops. You can't run in flip-flops, bitch.
Yeah, what the hell? All right, John, what are your thoughts on Brewers? Brewers Marlins, dude.
Yeah. Come on, I haven't seen you guys. We gotta get a little bit fucking weird.
For the next 2 days, every time I see a flip flop, all I'm gonna think in my head is, we can't run in flip flops.
You can't run in those shits, bitch. Snatch your junk and run. All right, let's go. Chad Patrick, 2 first names, and Cal Quantrill on the bump. Let's see. I was a little torn here. I think I wrote to you Milwaukee or nothing. I don't like the price for Chad Patrick, and as much as because I really like the Miami offense, believe it or not, I can't back Quantrill. So maybe I should have wrote over or nothing at the 8.5, but I'm not sure because Patrick's actually been pretty good. I know some pitching guys that love him. Some of the stats kind of bear out. He induces chases. He can win in the zone. I don't like the working up in the zone stuff. Well, 45 fly ball, 44 hard hit. I feel like that 8 homer fly ball ratio doing a little bit of heavy lifting for Patrick. And again, I like the Miami offense, so I'm fading this one. But I would just lean on my model. My model had Milwaukee winning this one, just Quantrill getting crushed. So maybe a Milwaukee team total even, but I'm not really on this.
What are your thoughts, those?
I can't stop laughing.
It would only be Milwaukee for me. I had my run in the sun with Cal, and I don't want to keep on pushing it. Again, he's only going to go 4 or 5 innings, and that's the issue. He hasn't been absolutely getting smoked. I will give him that. But at the same time, I mean, he does struggle with righty bats, so that's going to be Chirio, Contreras, Hoskins, Dubon, Ortiz towards the end of that lineup. So I can see some trouble brewing for Mr. Quantrill. And then as far as Chad Patrick's concerned, I don't know what to think of this guy. I truly don't. He does struggle with lefty bats, but I mean, with Miami, that doesn't really do much. That's what Sanchez, Stowers, and I think there's one other guy in that lineup that's a nobody that hits from the left-hand side. So really nothing there. And besides like a block of 3 starts against Pittsburgh, Chicago, and Atlanta, where he kind of got destroyed in a way over 13 runs over 15 innings for Mr. Chad Patrick. Besides that, he's been really, really good. I mean, he looked good against San Diego. He looked good against Philadelphia, Boston, Baltimore, Tampa Bay. He looked good in his last start against Colorado, obviously. So it's just really hard for me to just come out here and be like, oh, yeah, I don't think that Chad Patrick's going to pitch good here. So I know the Miami offense has been better, but they've also hasn't been the same as what they have been in the week past.
This is the wrong side. I'm looking at this, and it's got to be Marlins. How deep into this game are you expecting Chad Patrick to go? He hasn't gone deeper than 5 innings in a start since in a month now. 4 straight starts of only 5 innings. He does not go deep into games, which means the Milwaukee bullpen is going to have to carry some of the load here. McGill's probably not going to be available. Probably no Uribe. Probably no Ashby. Koenig, Nick Mears, Grant Anderson. Those are the arms that are going to get us home. Those arms suck. I think this is Marlins at this price. What?
No, go ahead. Bet the
I'm
Marlins.
done.
I didn't bet the Brewers. I'm just saying I couldn't find anything reason to bet the Marlins.
I just gave you some. All right, I'll bet it.
Yeah, but then you got to trust Quantrill. So like you can get Miami 3.5 minus 125, which is pretty cheap for a 3.5. You know, full game 3.5 is pretty cheap.
I'll bet it.
But yeah, I don't trust Quantrill. I can't get there.
There's a plus.
Quantrill has came through for me multiple times this year as a big dog, not as a small pup.
I've read the terms and conditions.
Better read them again.
Stop updating them.
Stop updating them.
Or just click auto read.
Yeah.
Marlins. Actually, judging by what the news the last few days, I probably should read them shits, right?
Oh yeah, dude. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. One thing I've learned is whenever there's the overreaction rate on potential political changes, it might have a 100% hit rate. Whenever there's somebody telling me like this is terrible and this is going to change everything and the world's about to end, it never does. I'm not saying the people that are upset about that don't have reason to be worried because it looks pretty serious. But I mean, I never react to never initially react to potential political changes because the overreaction rate is like 100%. If something's crazy about it, it usually autocorrects.
Wait, hold on. I got something for this because it's to this point. What you're obviously 1,000% correct. A lot of political stuff. Remember, they will never say, "Oh, nothing really going on today. Go watch fucking sports." They're never going to do that. They have to engage you. They get paid on engagement, negative or positive. It's like fucking professional wrestling. Now, to actually try and help people, talk to fucking experts. Right? I think to yourself, well, is the person that's lecturing me on this know anything about fucking taxes? And if the answer is no, you pretty much ignore it. Maybe ask someone that does. I reached out to my longtime accountant who I trust like 1,000%. And hold on, he wrote, most of this is the overreaction is BS, if anything. Unless your profession is literally a professional gambler, you cannot deduct losses beyond the point of winning anyway. Winners go on page 1 of your tax return as income, and gambling losses go on Schedule A as part of your itemized deductions. Again, I don't know anything about this shit. It's done this way because it always comes out in the government's favor. The only way to get around it is someone who's a professional gambler, just say a poker player, they report the income and expenses on Schedule C. So again, if any of those things apply to you, go talk to a fucking CPA and don't get your advice on fucking Twitter.
Yeah, and even if there is something that's like really like it corrects itself. It's whenever someone's overreacting to a potential political change, it almost always is an overreaction.
I've been playing offshore anyway. Why the fuck would you play
Baltimore?
Well, here's a quick story on playing onshore like a fucking Momo. DraftKings had put out for the first time hitter strikeout, a two-way hitter strikeout, right? So meaning you could get hitter strikeouts to the over. They were never doing it to the under because you have to hang plus money. I wrote up a quick model, assuming that they were going to use the wrong sine waves to figure this stuff out. It took us like under 10 days to break the fucking back of that fucking market. Dude, a ton of us turned $1 into 10,000, 15,000, like the most ridiculous fucking hit I've ever seen documented. You know, and I've had people say that. That 15,000 or whatever, dude, you don't even get that in your fucking account. They take 35% out first. So I didn't even get a fucking 13K or whatever. I got like 9 fucking K. You're not even treated like a fucking adult. New York pre-holds that shit anyway. Why would you want to play here in the first place?
All right, let's move on to Baltimore, Atlanta. Dylan Dodd against the Cream Machine.
I liked it even better than mine. The Cream Machine.
Atlanta has not really been hitting, but the Creamer on the road is a disaster.
Oh, you got it.
Toast, does Creamer pitch well?
I think he does. Yes. Baltimore money line for me. I haven't bet it yet. Line continues to move up. I'm looking at plus 130 right now. Excuse me. Baltimore came through for me yesterday at a huge plus price. I still don't. This is like the same situation. I still don't understand the price. Let's just start from the Baltimore side. Offensively, I kind of trust them right now that the way that they're hitting the ball over the last week and a half, and you have Atlanta, who's going to be using Dylan Dodd as their primary pitcher. Dylan Dodd, a guy that has pitched in Major League Baseball before, but in Gwinnett right now in their AAA affiliate, over 18 and a third innings, a 5.4 ERA. So he's not even pitching well in AAA. And then you have Krispy Kremer on the mound, who, again, on the road, not really a guy that I really want to back a lot, but I mean, looked good in Tampa Bay, looked good in New York. I mean, got lit up in that AAA park in Oakland, but looked good in Boston. I mean, got lit up in Milwaukee, and looked decent in Minnesota as well. So I'm not really worried with Mr. Kramer on the road, on top of the fact that you really only have to worry about lefties when you're facing Krispy Kremer, and it's Olsen, Profar, Baldwin, and Harris. I mean, so if he can get around those guys, I think they're going to be live. Baltimore used Batista yesterday, but he had multiple days off prior to that. I think their full bullpen's ready to go. I don't see any reason not to play Baltimore at this number.
In his last 7 starts, Dean Kremer has a 2.61 ERA, a 1.16 WHIP, chase rate over 32%. Is this sustainable, John?
No, I think I'm with you. I think I'm with you on the home road split. That's where I kind of get away from Kremer. And he's looked good as of late. I have to give it up because I'm generally attacking these guys. I'm going to go back to, I'm not in love with the Braves offense. I think I'm a little higher on those lefties than you are. I mean, Profar kind of hit the ground running. He looks fine. Olsen's in the middle of a really nice season.
If he's going to hit a home run every night, so be it. Congratulations.
Yeah, and Baldwin's. Well, I think Baldwin's been good too. Harris, another story. I know fantasy heads have been crying about him for fucking months. I think I'm going where Kyle was going. I think for me this is over or nothing. I don't like Kremer on the road. The Orioles offense is starting to slowly get it together, and I just don't trust these Atlanta innings whatsoever. I mean, Atlanta's been showing us what they have in the chamber lately with like Fuentes and stuff. They keep losing arms. I think they're out. You know, Fuentes was supposed to be the answer. First of all, this kid's like 20 years old. And to keep forcing him into this position is a really tough spot. So I don't think they have anybody to get these outs today. Maybe you guys have a better lean on where these innings are going to come from. Even Dodd is, I don't know how far he's going to,
that's my
how far
point.
He's going to get you.
I don't understand why. I mean, it's a bullpen day. It's Dylan Dodd, De Los Santos, Hernandez,
Rafael Montero is going to pitch 3 or 4 innings.
So I just don't understand. I'm just not worried about it. I'll take my chances.
Yeah, again, I'm
on the other side.
If I had to pick a side, my model has Baltimore, but my strongest signal
is Atlanta.
And then that
it would be Atlanta. Yeah, I mean, everyone, that thing John just said, everyone's been saying that shit for a month. Baltimore's starting to come around. Like, no, they're not. Like, everyone, we've all been saying, like, Baltimore's starting to come around.
Will you pull up for the show? Will you pull up Atlanta versus right-handed starters and just look at the names on that list and the production that they're doing, just so everybody can look at how good this Atlanta offense is to be favored at minus 150?
Yeah, I'll pull it up right here.
Baltimore has been getting better this month. 108 WRC plus.
Is that what you asked for?
Not a bad spot.
No, yeah. Everybody lay 150 with the Braves Nation. Chop, chop. Come see me tomorrow. Come see me tomorrow.
Kramer's about to get smoked.
Now I'm betting Baltimore.
What?
Because you bet Miami, now I'm betting Baltimore.
Now I'm betting them You're betting them aggressively.
Royals
Plus 130 on BetMGM. I'm in.
Royals on the road in Arizona. This is one of my bets. Snakes minus 130.
I have the same bet. Take it away.
Oh, Spoon texted me at 3 a.m. saying he thinks Corbin Carroll's going to play. That's why I have it. 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning. I was looking at.
Yo, let me tell you something, dude. That's a real.
Yeah.
Friend. That's
I was looking at UTEP's offensive line.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sitting here last night and I get a text and it's Kyle. And he's like, snakes. And I'm like, what the hell? What? That was so random. And it was like 11 my time. So 3 or 4 his time.
Which one of those things is more unusual at 3 a.m? Like fervently like updating the Arizona news website or doing the UTEP offensive line? My goodness.
Yeah, I was doing a deep dive on UTEP's offensive line, trying to figure out what they're going to do. Trying to figure out what they're going to do on the left side, and I got a text from Spoon saying he thinks Corbin Carroll's going to play, and this is going to close to minus 145, minus 150. So I bet it, post it on the website, and then Toast gets the automatic text. So yeah, I'm on the Snakes. That's my entire breakdown. Spoon texted me at 3 a.m. That's why I have this bet.
Oh man, that's funny. That's so funny. I didn't know that was the reason for the bet. I thought that maybe you got bored and wanted to switch your mind up a little bit.
I got a 3 a.m. text from Spoon. I'm like, wow, if he's texting me at 3 a.m., he must really like this.
Yeah. Everything that Lovello has been saying about Corbin Carroll sounds like he's going to play today. If he doesn't play today, guaranteed tomorrow. But it's just a pain tolerance thing with a chip bone or whatever. But I think that I know that I say this like once a week with these pitchers, but I think Ryan Nelson is starting to become one of these guys that's pitching well that no one wants to talk about. And he continues to go out there every time he goes out there and gives you 5 or 6 innings of 1 or 2 run baseball. I mean, over his last 7 starts, he had 1 blow up start on the road in Cincinnati. Besides that, he looked good against the Dodgers on the road, good at Pittsburgh at home, San Diego at home, Toronto on the road, the White Sox on the road, San Francisco at home. Like, it's really hard for me to believe that Ryan Nelson isn't going to pitch well against this Kansas City team that offensively I don't trust to save my life. Not to mention the fact that they put up 9 runs yesterday. I had a great day yesterday. My first 5 under 4.5 didn't even make it through 6 outs. It was absolutely one of the worst bets of the year. I just have a hard time believing that Kansas City can actually do that again. Not to mention the fact that I am like a Michael Wacha apologist, but I think that the tables might have turned. I mean, he's starting to really turn into a pumpkin out there. Really hard to trust what he's been doing right now. Not to mention, he really struggles versus lefty bats. And if Carroll gets in there, that's going to be another lefty bat that you have to worry about. And Arizona versus righty starters have been pretty decent. They got 2 off of Lupp, 3 off of Birdsong, 3 off of Logan Webb, and 6 2/3. So they've been decent as well. I like Arizona to win too.
Sheet says Carroll's been playing well. What do you mean?
Jesus Christ.
He hasn't been playing
at all.
Oh, he's talking to somebody that says Carroll back doesn't move the needle. Well, before he got hurt, Arizona was like the best lineup in baseball against right-handed pitching. Then he got hurt and they fell off a cliff. So I would say,
not to mention the speed on the base. I can't even.
And he's leading, and the leadoff too. Trust me, I'm the first. I'm modeling this stuff.
He's like one of the most influential pieces of a lineup in baseball.
Dude, he's legit top 3 or top 5. Yeah. He is.
What do you think, Johnny?
I think you guys nailed it 100%. Arizona. That's moved in your favor, right? It's a little more expensive for them now, I believe. I thought I was looking at minus. Yeah, it's minus 145. That's where I'm like, I still think they win the game, but I think you look really sharp at if you got minus 130 for sure. Nelson, kind of what Toast was alluding to. I think he's hashtag good at baseball.
Yeah,
and we got to be careful when these guys are going to. And the fantasy community, that's why they're hip to this stuff. He was one of those names to look out for. I think he probably should have had a rotation role a little bit earlier, but now that
didn't he have? Wasn't he the guy? I can't remember. He was rather really good at home or really good on the road, and he couldn't pitch at the other one.
This year it's been all home. He has been lights out in that building, which is not an easy place to pitch either. But he's been lights out. So all the splits are in your favor today, especially with Carroll. Trust me, I get it. Corbin Carroll is literally only going to move the Diamondbacks team total like a 10th of a run, like legit. That's all it is. Maybe even a shade less than that. But still, I already had them modeled for a win. Walker, again, the wheels are falling off. The pitch to contact stuff in this weather doesn't really work. Arizona's offense, like, they've been good. They've shown us, even at a floor, they're pretty good. They're dangerous on any given day because, man, Suarez is a beast. And they had kind of secondary guys step up. Geraldo Perdomo looks like a legitimate, major leaguer. Like, he looks like a borderline all-star kind of hitter right there. So, yeah, I think it's Arizona, like, easily. And I was even off the bullpen for quite a while, and they've even pitched really well. I don't know if I'm ready to get sold on Shelby Miller yet, but, yeah, like, Arizona, like, easily in this one. I think the Royals busted the nut yesterday.
Couple things. So I checked. The text was actually at 11:46 p.m. I just don't think I saw it till later on when I was deep into the UTEP offensive.
Hour 3 of UTEP analysis.
And Sports Science Jacob in the chat says, "Spoons aren't sharp. Rename yourself Knife," which I thought was funny.
I mean,
it's his last name though, guys. He didn't.
He's a real shit.
Yeah, he didn't choose a spoon. His last name is Spooner. He didn't choose a spoon. He's just really passionate about spoons, so he chose the nickname. Yankees Mets.
What the fuck is going on?
John, I'm sorry that we had to hand deliver your boys in L yesterday. Listen, don't come up in Queens.
Yankees.
Don't come up to Queens, John.
I fucking hate the Yankees. I really do.
Ditto.
Listen, my hot take coming into the season was they were not going to make the playoffs. They kind of showed me Aaron Judge is a one-man wrecking crew. I never liked the way this team was constructed. I think we're starting to see some of the stuff I was worried about kind of come to the surface now. I do think the Yankees win today because I think what's his face is so terrible.
Montas?
That Montas is so terrible. But I would have to go with the over. I was a little surprised to see it at a 9 flat. I thought this one should be at 9.5. So just based on that, plus the Yankees bullpen has been worked. And this was a really good example. I was thinking about our guy Toast the other day when Weaver came in for that back-to-back after throwing 21 pitches, making his 3 or 4. I was worried, and he didn't look sharp. And sometimes that's why we're highlighting this stuff, because it's got to be an antenna up. It doesn't mean, you sell the Yankees. It's they're already stretched. Williams has had his concerns. He's available. But, man, Hill and Hamilton, who they've kind of relied on lately, both 2 out of 3, I think this one goes way over. So if the Mets don't get it early, I think they get their runs late. And I think the Yankees should shit on Montas. I don't think he's good.
Toast?
Yeah, I'm going to continue to keep betting the bet that continues to pay me out. Everybody wants to figure out when the Yankees are going to win. I keep telling you guys, don't worry about their pitching staff. They score 5 runs a night. Yankees team total over 4.5.
Is it 4.5?
Yeah, rinse and repeat.
I gotta be more thorough looking. Yeah, it's the second time you caught me today.
Yeah, rinse and repeat with this Yankees team total over, guys. I've been playing this for 4 or 5 days. Minus 125. Minus 125. Excuse me.
Minus 120. It's minus 120 on DraftKings.
Yeah, well, that means I didn't.
DraftKings is normally more expensive too. That's the only reason I say on DraftKings. I feel like their team total price is
Frankie Montas is about to throw a gem.
Yeah, I was going to say. The fact that it's 1-4, I don't really like that. But yeah,
is he any good? Do we think he's good?
He's good in pitcher parts.
I will say that he does have, a little bit better splits versus lefties, and there is some lefties in that Yankees lineup. Grisham, Bellinger, Jazz, Wells. So, sure, maybe he could pitch well. But again, I just think that you're only going to get probably 4, maybe 5 innings of Frankie Montas, and I don't think that he pitches a shutout. And then you're not going to have Reed Garrett. You're not going to have Brazoban probably, and Austin Warren threw 34 yesterday. So unless the Mets are winning in the 8th and the 9th, that's going to be Stanek and Diaz. But besides that, with this Yankees offense, we're going to get a couple shots at Richard Lovelady and Davinsky and Rico Garcia and whatnot. So I will say, though, I bet this last night. I don't like that the total's at 9 plus 100. It looks like the books are trying to tell us that this might be a lower scoring game. But anyway, I'm going to continue to play the Yankees bats until they give me a reason not to.
I think it is a lower scoring game, and I think the Mets win. Plus 120.
Well, I was going to say, this
come
is
out
your
for the
spot.
6th yet? No, right?
Huh?
I was just interested when Toast made that point again. There's so many markets and so many ways to try and get paid. Montes' out prop today is 15.5, minus 120 to the under. And I was wondering if he had come out for the 6th yet. he hadn't. Man, the market is really hot on Montas or cold on the Yankees, right? Kind of both, whichever way you want to see that. Surprised today. That's not my gut.
Next. Astros, Dodgers.
Man,
This is a great baseball game yesterday.
What did it finish at? I didn't even see.
18-1.
Oof.
How many people were in the stands at the end of that game? In LA.
Probably a funny screenshot of that.
Those fair weather folks out there bounced in the fifth. Who stayed till the end?
I wouldn't have. Not in that traffic. Fuck that.
Well, wait. Although isn't okay, they joke that in Dodger Stadium to beat the traffic, you wait for the end of the game.
Yeah, that's
I don't think
true.
anyone. You could have waited until the 7th and beat the traffic. People were piecing.
It's just because of how it's constructed. That's why it's so bad. But anyway,
Is that right? Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, it's a joke. Anyway, I don't. This game is kind of hard. It would only be the Astros for me. I think this price is kind of insane. I will give you that. I mean, Framber. I love Framber. I think everybody knows that. I don't really have any trust issues with Framber. I mean, my issue, the only thing that I haven't bet this is that over his last 7 starts, only 2 of them have been on the road, and that was Pittsburgh and Oakland. But besides that, I mean, he's been going 5 or 6 innings and giving you 1 or 2 run baseball. It's the walks over the last couple starts have been kind of an issue for me, and that could be an issue with this Dodgers team. But I mean, I feel like we're getting this price with Shohei on the mound, which is cool. You're going to get him for 2 innings, and then you're going to get Robleski on the mound, who is another lefty. For me, I just don't understand this price with the Dodgers. The Astros bullpen is going to be good to go. The Dodgers kind of used some of their guys yesterday. Everything to me point as far as price wise considers is the Astros. Astros have a full rested bullpen behind Framber as well. I feel like this price you're getting it because Ohtani's on the mound, so it would only be Houston for me.
Over. Dodgers smoke Framber, but also I mean the Astros probably get score some runs too. Over or pass, John?
Yeah, I think if you think the Dodgers get to Framber at all, the over 8 looks like a smash. My gut was I faded this one. I didn't take it. My gut pretty much was totally simpatico with my man Sam here because Framber as a decently heavy underdog, there's the shortest list of pitchers that would have to be going up against him, and Shohei as an opener is not one of them. I mean, Framber is the cream of the crop. You know what I mean? He's as fucking as good as it gets, man. Framber is the man, and his profile can beat anybody. That he fills the zone and he fills the lower third, and it's like ground ball, can beat anybody. And then he can reach back and get swings and miss when he needs to. I just try to avoid the Dodgers offense. I feel like we missed the chance to kind of go at them where they kind of stunk for a little bit. And now they look awesome again. When Shohei is swinging a good bat, and Will Smith looks fantastic right now. I guess without Muncy, I guess that's a pretty big boost for the other side. But yeah, I like Framber and probably nothing.
Astros or pass?
Yeah, but the plus money, man.
Today's Ohtani's birthday, says the comments.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean? He was out gambling last night.
It's his birthday, John.
It's his birthday.
He was playing fucking Baccarat, high stakes Baccarat last night till 8 in the morning.
Ohtani's never gambled in his
High
life.
stakes Baccarat.
I don't know. I don't know. We know he doesn't bet on sports. He only bets on throwing fucking playing cards at the dugout steps or whatever.
High stakes Baccarat.
We saw that video. You saw that video. Oh yeah, I'm sure that was for fun. Yeah.
Tigers, Guardians, and Cleveland. John, what are your thoughts here? Casey Mize against Logan Allen.
Yeah, for me it was Tigers or nothing. The price kind of turned me off because the Tigers bullpen earned my cooked emoji today.
Yeah,
so I know if I go, I'm going to scroll down and see. Vest back-to-back with 25 yesterday. Canely 2 out of 3. I guess he could be available. But Holton, the one lefty or the one good lefty, through 42 pitches, he's not going to go today. Then I think the underbelly of that bullpen kind of stinks. Like we've seen that. So without the best guys in the Tiger bullpen. I think if you want the Tigers, I think you got to keep it short because I tend to really like Mize and I don't like Allen. And right now, fading the Guardians offense has been the biggest moneymaker. What's his name? Jose Ramirez got hit. He got hit with a pitch. Maybe it's funny if you wanted to find when it happened, look for when the Guardians offense completely disappeared. He hasn't gotten a hit since. I don't know if they've won a game since.
No, he had a homer yesterday.
Oh, is that right? So, but that was the first one. Yeah, I was out doing fucking card tricks like a real American. So I didn't see any baseball. But yeah, the Guardians, even if we think he hit it and that kind of sparks the offense, they've been objectively rotten lately. As bad as it gets across the board, man, just awful. 190 batting average, 200 plate appearances. Yikes. Yeah, I think you can safely attack them with Mize.
This is just a super heavy pass for me. I guess Cleveland or Cleveland if you have to put up a side just because of the Detroit bullpen, but I don't really trust Logan Allen. I feel like this number is a little bit short. I feel like they're trying to bait Detroit money in there, but again, it's just not something I want to deal with.
It's Cleveland.
Man, the pricing is weird as shit, man.
That's what I said.
135 from Mize F5 feels.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I have enough. 115 on BetMGM, or I'm sorry, on ESPN is the best number for Cleveland.
Man, Allen sucks, man.
Then why is the price like this? That's
these offenses could these offenses be Cleveland. Am I blowing this out of proportion? Am I turning this into a split thing? The Detroit offense is a lot better than the Guardians.
Oh, of course. That's why they're minus 130 favorites in Cleveland.
Yeah, but with Allen on the bump, I don't know. I feel like this should be a lot. I don't know.
Where would you price the game out? Where would you
price? That
price?
raises fishy to me, especially with money coming in. On
what is the fair price? Where would you price it?
I'm a little bit further than that, probably it opened minus 140, and I thought that was a little bit cheap. I'm at a minus 150, and now we're not only off that price, we're moving away from it every half hour.
Minus 150 in Cleveland.
So you're saying that
with no
Casey Mize is a 180 favorite?
No. See, I was talking about the F5, which is a lot of times a little bit more
and the
expensive.
F5, that's a little more reasonable.
Yeah.
I'm betting Cleveland.
Oh, full game price? No. Full game price, I agree. I 100% agree, yeah.
What can I get? Plus 115.
Yeah, on ESPN or Bet365.
Yeah, I'll go grab it.
The White Sox is next. What a slobber knocker!
That's the game you're waiting for.
No, I just saw it's next on the list. So
yeah, but you said it in a way as if finally.
Yeah, just finally I can be
finally, Jonathan Cannon has come back to Colorado. You're a game you'd have to clip my fucking eyelids to my fat forehead to get me to watch this shit, man.
Cannon in Coors? Oh, let me share this with the group real quick. All right, sent. All right, next.
Just the pricing alone on this game, you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, I'd rather bet the White Sox at minus 102 or I bet the Rockies at minus 115. You got to be a real special kind of degenerate to be betting that. But
I had a bad taste in my mouth with the White Sox as a favorite. But you guys know, I was on the show, his opening, the second time out for Hauser, and I was like, yo, buy into this. I said, buy into it. What we see is legit. He is actually # good at baseball. That is not the case for Cat. If there was ever an over or nothing, I don't think I've ever said an 11 total feels low. But that's how I feel about this game.
I'm down to skip it.
Yeah, you can skip it for me.
I think the Rockies win.
I was going to say, I think that Marquez has actually pitched better than I think more people would want to give him credit for over his last 7 starts. But regardless, I think that's why you're getting them as a favorite. But there's not a chance in hell I bet this game.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Yeah.
Speaking of CLV.
Yup. Wait, what are you on?
Rangers plus 130.
Oh, I got Rangers plus 120.
Oh. Hate to see it. Well, I love to see it, actually.
Oh, well, I guess we're both on the Rangers. I didn't realize you were also on the Rangers. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just feel I'm going to continue to make this point. Until the cows come home. I don't think that Steven Kolick is a major league pitcher. I know that he can look good at times, but if you look at the competition that he's faced, he looked decent he got blown up by Miami, and then everybody was like, oh, well, that all happened in like the first 2 innings, and then he started to look really good, and then he went on the road in San Francisco, which at the time, that was before Devers. This was like a month and a half ago. That San Francisco wasn't doing anything. He looked good against San Francisco, Milwaukee. Then he got proceeded to get absolutely throttled by Arizona, the Dodgers, and Washington, and then he finally got the Reds on a little bit of a downturn, and he looked somewhat decent versus them. But Stephen Kolek, I mean, even as the biggest Padres lover as I am, is not a guy that you can trust. And honestly, as far as Patrick Corbin is concerned, I don't really worry about him. This was more of like a play on the price for me. I just don't feel like the Padres should be that big of a favorites versus anybody right now, that the way their offense has been going. On top of the fact, Suarez is 2 of the last 3 days. Jason Adam worked yesterday. Adrian Morejon, who's probably been the best reliever in baseball over the last month and a half or so, he's left 2 of the last 3 days as well. Estrada went yesterday, so I just feel like there's so many advantages going in Texas's way, not to mention the fact that I think Texas could have won that game yesterday if they just would have been a little bit smarter on the bases. But regardless of the fact, they have all their bullpen ready to go. They used some guys yesterday as well, but they had the previous 3 or 4 days off. So at plus 130, I thought that price was absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if I would play them at plus 105 or plus 110, but I do think the Rangers win today.
Someone asked about getting an updated spreadsheet in the Discord with Corbin instead of Leiter. You can ask Charles in the chat now. If he's not there, I'll do it when the show's over. I'll get you an updated sheet. Legazo.
Yeah, I'm with you. I wish I had seen that plus 130 after the swap. I guess I didn't notice that Corbin was going to go today. I had Leiter up and I was leaning Padres. When Corbin got posted, I don't think the line was properly set. And now, what's funny is, so you said plus 110. Since you started talking, which can't be more than, 2 minutes of Earth time, it's now plus 101 on the same site. Meaning, so again, you could chop it around, but on DraftKings, they do the real time. It flashes, and it's like as we're talking, it's just fucking changing. Man, it's what Kyle said earlier on. I hate the idea of knowing that there was so much value left. But just to be fair, I have Texas modeled with a pretty comfortable win. So if you can get them at plus 101 or plus 105, I still think it's a good bet because you're getting the price. You're not right. As long as you're not paying juice for a team that you think should be a favorite, you nailed it with the Padres. Bullpen, you didn't really get into how bad the Padres have been versus lefties. It's getting...
It's that. Also, I forgot to mention the fact that Xander Bogaerts, who's been one of their better hitters over the last month or so, got hurt yesterday as well. So I don't know if he's going to play today. So if you take that bat out of the lineup, then that Padres lineup really looks like a AAA lineup.
I mean, how much worse could this get? We're talking 360 plate appearances, 229 batting average, a sub 300 slug. Man, that is almost hard to do by accident. And you know what? It's been what the Padres' problem has been. They've fallen in love with this disciplinary stuff. And I'm the only guy talking about it. Yes, it's important to see pitches. Yes, it's important to not chase outside the zone. But you can't just go up there with the bat on your shoulder because if you're behind, you get pinned into having now to offer bad pitches. And that's been what's going on. They're ground ball machines. 32 pull, 32 hard hit, 5% barrel versus lefties, a 300 expected WOBA to contact. These numbers are just not major league level. So I think they get picked on. Corbin, who we've all kind of LOL'd in the past, maybe he's made his adult turn, right? And he's just kind of doing, not trying to challenge guys with stuff he doesn't have. He's more willing to pitch a little bit more to contact. And this has been one of the better versions of Corbin that we've seen in probably a really long time, man. So yeah, I think the line is just off. I think Texas should be the favorite here.
All right, we're all on Texas.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Giants Athletics. John, anything here?
Man, I got whipsawed so hard by Logan Webb that I was the biggest proponent, but I really wasn't pulling the trigger. Then he went to shit just as I was backing him, and now he looks good again, and it's in this ballpark. Man, my gut's just telling me when you're in Sacramento and the total is below 10, the answer is over or nothing. I like the Giants. I do think they win. I'm not struggling to get to a minus 180. Maybe it's a parlay piece because Severino, the wheels feel like they've completely fallen off. He was bitching about the ballpark, but then he went and got rocked on the road anyway. I mean, Severino just looks really flawed. He's missing the zone. He's been getting crushed. I'm also struggling. You guys know me. For some reason, I have this love for the Giants offense, even though they come home from work and punch me in the face every day. I'm just off this one. The Giants are too expensive, but I think they win.
Toast.
I got Oakland team total or Sacramento team total over 3.5 minus 105 last night. I do think that this Oakland offense or Sacramento, offense has started to pick it up. Excuse me. 11 runs last night, 5, 4, 6, 5, 7 the previous 5 games before that. I don't really want to have anything to do with Severino, but what I will say is that it wouldn't surprise me if he pitched well today, just because there's so much about him has been going on in the media over the last week. And does he want to be there and does he want to get traded and stuff? I know that he hasn't pitched. He's been downright terrible in this ballpark. It wouldn't surprise me if he came out and shoved. He did pitch well against this Giants offense the last 2 times that he's seen him, once this year and once last year. 13 total innings, only 6 hits and 1 run. Obviously none of those games were in Sacramento, so that changes things. But as far as Logan Webb is concerned, yeah, he's been good, but a guy I don't really trust on the road. And like I said, I really like this Oakland offense, the way that they've been hitting a little bit better. And the fact that Logan Webb is in a AAA offense, I think, our ballpark, I think that's what kind of moved the needle for me. I just feel like this could be a spot where he doesn't really look his best. I don't really think we're going to get 7 innings out of Logan Webb. So if we do, maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. But I thought that Oakland to score 4 runs at a cheap or nearly plus money wasn't too good of a bet to pass.
Let's go to the next one, which is
You don't like anything, Kyle? Just discuss it.
No, I didn't really look at most of these games. I was doing college football until late the wee hours of the night. Pirates, Mariners. The only 2 bets I have are Diamondbacks minus 130, Rangers plus 120. Oh, and I added 2 more while on the show, but I didn't look at the game until the show. Pirates against the Mariners. Toast.
It would only be the Mariners for me. You guys know that I don't like Luis Castillo at all, but I do think that this Pirates offense had a fun little week, and now they're across the country in a place where you can't score runs to save your life. It's just really bad. Not to mention the fact that, I guess there's a couple with Horowitz and Reynolds and Cruz. Besides that, those are the only lefties in that lineup. So I do think that Castillo could pitch well here today. And this Seattle offense is maybe starting to come around a little bit. Depending on how you want to look at it, I don't really know. I'm not going to bet the game, but it would only be Seattle for me.
John?
No, I would absolutely say the other way, because I don't like Castillo. I've been off that for a minute. And I really like this Mike Burrows kid, and the Pittsburgh offense has been a lot of fun lately. So I think when these bad teams start to show kind of flashes like this, and you get these fantastic prices, I think I like them both. You can get a plus 140 for the full game. You get a plus 141 on the F5. Burrows has been flat out fantastic the past month. And I think we have to bake that into the price, right? These guys that kind of get these promotions, he came up and gave up, I think, 4 and 4 in the first 2 games. And when you give up 8 runs in 8 innings, that's going to blow up a lot of your season stuff. But now at this point, granted, you're not getting a lot of distance. So as I look at it, I'll probably stick with the F5. But I think he gets through 5 today. Mariners offense really, really like a hot and cold kind of thing. And right now, feels like a time maybe get after them. They chase a lot. That's been a strong point for Burrows. They put the ball on the ground a lot. That's been a strong point for him. The Pirates, again, I don't think they're awesome. But I think when hitters like O'Neal Cruz gets it going, they're going to be hot for 10 days, 2 weeks. Right now, Pirates last 7 days, batting .317 as a squad. That's a 131 WRC plus. That's kind of bled out into the stuff versus righties last 2 weeks. And the Mariners have been just a little bit flat. So it could be the Pirates at the price. They kind of scratch one across. You know what? I didn't even think you might get plus money with the run. No, it's very expensive. Something we talk about often, right? It's plus 141 F5 ML. The half run is minus 110. 51 cents for that run I don't want. Give me the Pirates to get it 1-0. So yeah, I like Pirates with the money F5.
Yeah, I would go under or pass. Seattle team total under 3.5 is at plus 115 in all likelihood. They're not batting in the bottom of the ninth. Slight wind blowing in at Seattle. We know not a lot of runs get scored in this ballpark. The Pirates line up one of the worst in baseball. Castillo should be fine.
You're not buying a recent surge?
No,
Yeah, they're
not in the slightest.
Is it a recent surge, or did they have 4 good games?
Yeah, it was like 3 games, John.
Okay, hold on. Let me make the bull case. Let me make the rational bull case. The rational bull case for the Pirates is they added bats. You know what I mean? Like, we were waiting all season for Horowitz to be up and healthy. Nick Gonzalez, same thing. Now he's back, 2.5 weeks or something like that. He's been in the middle of the order bat for them. You know, Joey Bard is back off the IL, and now we're just talking about a third of the lineup is back. And, man, I hate getting put where I'm like, John, super high in the Pirates. It's just, no, I think these guys are above league average players, and now they're playing every day. So I think the Pirates offense, I think when we were looking at the fucking Triolo and Adam Frazier, Canario, Henry Davis Pirates, it's a little bit different.
He's still there, but.
Love it.
John, where can the people find your stuff?
Yo, guys, I freaking missed you, and that goes for the crowd also, because the feedback's always so good. Follow me on Twitter, X, whatever, at John Legeza, and I'll feed you to all my stuff. I got cool free cheat sheets and stuff at Athlon. I got pay work if you want to see the model and all the sortable stats on Substack, and then I've got fantasy football ranks and stuff are up. Kyle's not the only one. Kyle, we can make like a good yin and yang here for the football stuff. You're up grinding college. I've been grinding all the my NFL pro projections and stuff like that. You know, I'm a fantasy geek at heart.
Yeah. I haven't started on the NFL sheets yet. Well, actually, that's a lie.
Well, it's probably a little bit easier. You figure there's 10% of the teams, right?
Yeah, the NFL is easier. Not only is it just a much smaller amount of teams, but the information is so easy to get. It's so available. I mean, if I want to know who was playing left guard on the 33rd snap of week 4, I can find that information easily. Where college football, I mean, it's a struggle to find out who the right tackle was last year, because you have to go to PF.
Tell me about it. Again, I don't pretend to be a college guy, but when you write about NFL, you and just inherently have to mention college sometimes. Dude, I can barely find like surface fucking stuff, like literal bio information. Yeah,
not only is there a lot more teams, not only is it not followed as closely, but the rules are also different on injuries. They're not required to disclose certain things. So sometimes if it's a quarterback or a running back or like a star defensive player, it'll make the news. But if like their starting left tackle gets hurt in week 4 and doesn't play the rest of the season, you to find that out, you have to do a deep dive in some local paper article from October 2024 that nobody read, like trying to figure out okay, I'll use Pro Football Focus. I'll be like, okay, this guy started at left guard for 5 weeks. Why did he stop starting at left guard? Was he benched? Did he get hurt? And finding the answer to that question is like serious shit. Like it's tough.
And then you haven't even gotten into if he's good or not.
Yes, right? and then you have to right, because that's an important. Okay, this guy's back at left guard, but did he get benched last year or did he get hurt? Like that, it's an important piece of information. Yeah. So everyone,
enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, have a good one. Hit me up if you need me. Betting league stuff, you have until 4 p.m. is the deadline. So if you're in the betting league, you have another 4 hours to submit. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Will you have something to say, Toast?
I was just going to ask you, are we going live tonight or tomorrow morning?
Tonight, yeah.
Come on. All right, let's go.
All right.